if I told you that staying broke isn't your fault? That there's actually a system in place that profits from keeping you financially trapped? Most people have no idea these mechanisms even exist, but today I'm going to expose exactly how the system is rigged against you. When I say the system, I'm talking about banks, credit companies, retailers, the financial infrastructure that surrounds us every day. They've designed their business models around one principle: keep people borrowing, keep people spending, and keep people dependent. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the majority of people never build wealth, and it has nothing to do with discipline. Let's dive in. The first way the system keeps you broke is what I call the expensive to be poor tax. This is where being poor literally costs you more money for the exact same things that rich people get cheaper. Let's start with banking. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you overdraft your account by $5, most banks will hit you with a $35 fee. That's a 700% penalty for being short on cash. Meanwhile, if you're wealthy enough to maintain a high account balance, those same banks will waive all your fees and even pay you interest, or take buying in bulk. Rich people can afford to buy the 24-pack of toilet paper for 50 cents per roll. But if you're broke, you can only afford the 4-pack, which costs 75 cents per roll. You're paying 50% more for the same product just because you don't have cash up front. Here's another one: car insurance. If you have bad credit because you've been struggling financially, insurance companies will charge you hundreds more per year for the exact same coverage. They're literally charging you extra for being poor. And don't even get me started on payday loans. These places target low-income neighborhoods and charge interest rates that would make a loan shark blush, sometimes over 400% annually. But they're legal because they prey on people who have no other options. This isn't an accident. The entire system is designed to extract maximum fees from people who can least afford them, while giving discounts and perks to people who already have money. Look, my whole mission with this channel is to give you the financial education they never wanted you to have. Because education is the first step to breaking free from these traps. So if you're serious about improving your finances, make sure you subscribe. I've got a lot more of these system breakdowns coming your way. The second way the system keeps you broke is through what I call the debt trap machine. This is where financial institutions deliberately design their products to keep you paying forever, not to help you get out of debt. Let's look at credit cards. Say you have a $5,000 balance with an 18% interest rate. If you only make the minimum payment, which is what most people do, it will take you over 30 years to pay it off, and you'll end up paying more than $16,000 total. That's triple what you originally borrowed. But here's the kicker: credit card companies actually lose money when you pay off your balance quickly. Their entire business model depends on you staying in debt and making those minimum payments month after month, year after year. Student loans work the same way. The average college graduate leaves school with $30,000 in debt. If they make the standard payments, they'll be paying for 10 years and end up paying over $40,000 total. But if they can't afford the full payments and go into income-based repayment, they could be paying for 20 or 25 years. And many will end up owing more than they originally borrowed because the payments don't even cover the interest. Then there's rent-to-own furniture stores. They target people who can't afford to buy a couch outright, so they offer easy weekly payments. But that $500 couch ends up costing $1,200 after all the payments. It's a 140% markup, but they market it as affordable because the weekly payment seems small. The system isn't designed to help you build wealth. It's designed to extract wealth from you through interest and fees, forever. Which of these debt traps have you fallen into? Let me know in the comments. The third way the system keeps you broke is through the financial education gap. And this one is deliberate. They don't want you to understand how money actually works. Think about it. You spend 12 years in school learning algebra, biology, and history. But when do they teach you about compound interest, credit scores, or how to invest? Never. You graduate knowing the square root of 144, but you have no idea how a mortgage works or what a 401k is. This isn't an oversight. It's by design. Financial institutions make billions of dollars from people who don't understand their products. If everyone knew that a 30-year mortgage means you'll pay twice the house price in total, or that whole life insurance is a terrible investment, these companies would lose their biggest profit centers. Instead, they deliberately make financial products as confusing as possible. Have you ever tried to read a credit card agreement? It's written in legal jargon that even lawyers struggle with. The fine print is literally designed to hide the real costs from you. Meanwhile, wealthy families teach their kids about money from an early age. They explain investing, taxes, and business ownership around the dinner table. Poor families don't have this knowledge to pass down, so the cycle continues. The system profits from your ignorance, which is why financial literacy isn't taught in schools. They need you confused and dependent on their expertise to keep making money off you. The fourth way the system keeps you broke is through the network effect lockout. This is where your social circle and connections literally determine your financial ceiling, and the system is designed to keep you trapped in low-income networks. Here's how this works. Rich people grow up around other rich people. Their parents' friends are doctors, lawyers, and business owners. When they need a job, they don't apply online. They get introduced through family connections. When they want to start a business, they have access to investors and mentors who've done it before. Poor people are surrounded by other poor people. Your parents' friends work minimum wage jobs, struggle with debt, and have never invested in the stock market. When you need work, you're competing with hundreds of other applicants for the same low-paying positions. When you want to start a business, nobody in your circle has the money to invest or the experience to guide you. This gets reinforced geographically too. Poor neighborhoods have fewer job opportunities, worse schools, and limited access to professional networks. Rich neighborhoods have better schools, more internship opportunities, and kids grow up around successful role models. The system maintains this separation because it benefits from having a large pool of desperate workers competing for low wages, while protecting the advantages of the wealthy class through exclusive networks and insider information. The fifth and final way the system keeps you broke is through scarcity mindset programming. This is where constant financial stress literally rewires your brain to make decisions that keep you poor. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, your brain goes into survival mode. You can't think about investing for retirement when you're worried about making rent next week. You can't plan for the future when you're just trying to survive today. This creates what scientists call tunneling, where financial stress narrows your focus so much that you can only see immediate problems, not long-term solutions. But here's the crazy part. This stress actually impairs your decision-making ability. Studies show that financial worry reduces your cognitive function by the equivalent of losing 13 IQ points. You're literally less capable of making good financial decisions when you're broke, which keeps you making bad financial decisions. The system exploits this perfectly. When you're stressed and desperate, you're more likely to take that payday loan, use that rent-to-own furniture, or make minimum payments on credit cards. You know these are bad deals, but you don't have the mental bandwidth to find better options. Meanwhile, advertising and social media constantly bombard you with messages to spend money you don't have on things you don't need. Buy now, pay later. You deserve this. Treat yourself. It's all designed to keep you consuming instead of saving. The system needs you stressed, desperate, and focused on immediate gratification. Because the moment you step back and start thinking long-term, you realize you're being played. So, there you have it. 5 ways the system is designed to keep you broke. The expensive to be poor tax that charges you more for everything. The debt trap machine that keeps you paying forever. The financial education gap that keeps you ignorant. The network effect that limits your opportunities. And the scarcity mindset programming that impairs your decision-making. Here's what I want you to understand. None of this is your fault. You're not broke because you're lazy, stupid, or lack discipline. You're broke because you're playing a rigged game where the rules are designed to extract money from you and funnel it upward to people who already have wealth. But here's the good news. Once you understand the game, you can start playing by different rules. You can avoid the traps, build the knowledge they don't want you to have, and create the networks that will lift you up instead of holding you down. Check out one of these videos next to keep learning how money really works. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.